This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, independent comic book creator Andrew Guilde is hanging out to update us on his successfully kickstarted Man of Sin graphic novel and his new projects. Jared Leto's Joker is coming back for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
What?
Streaming platform Quibi shutting down just after 6 months. And we got 2 movie reviews for 2 completely different movies. We review the Canadian horror comedy WolfCop and the Aaron Sorkin courtroom drama, The Trial of the Chicago 7 on Netflix. All that and more in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, October 22nd, 2020.
This is Jason Hawes, and you're listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. I've seen a lot of things in my life, but nothing freaks me out like antique porcelain dolls. No, even worse, puppets. Puppets come into life. But that's impossible, right? Right, guys?
My spider shits are tingling.
Check. Check 1. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up.
We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah. We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert. Give it up one time.
Hello, listener. What's up? Thanks for pressing play and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero, TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the nerd.
And joining us is the former founder of the 60s Radical Puppets Rights Activist Group. They were commonly known as the Puppies. Please welcome Scabby Rugman, but we call him Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
The world is not watching.
They're watching you, Rugs.
No, they're not. They're listening.
The world is listening. The world is listening. Also,
there's nothing to watch here, folks.
Yes, keep moving on. Please move on. Nothing to see here. Also joining us, special guest, independent comic book creator Andrew Guilde, calling in from a payphone in 1996. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm good. It took me a while to find some change, but I got some, so I'm glad I was able to call in.
Okay, good. I hope you cashed all your dollars because, well, look, we had to make a joke about you're using high-tech Apple earpods,
How much
right?
change does it take to last this entire episode? How much change would
2
that be?
hours?
Like,
well, at what rates? Like,
is he calling in collect?
or that means we're paying for it. I did not accept the charges. I did not accept the charges.
It would be like $20 in change or something.
Easily.
For the 3 hours that it'll take to record the show?
Yeah,
Probably.
because it would be like 75 cents, right? For
How much time did you get?
call.
Who even knows what a payphone is anymore? But look,
When's the last time you saw a payphone?
I think it was
a good question.
in a museum. It was in a museum.
Oh, shit.
I think I saw one in Vegas. Right?
Really?
Like, are they like phone banks? Like,
I
you know
think
what
they
I'm
just
talking
still have a couple
Yeah.
for the mafia and for the FBI to use.
Yes, just to make for the CIs, the informants. They got to make their calls in. But look, your audio is fine, Andrew. These fancy AirPods are expensive, and for some reason, I thought they would sound better. But here we are.
Apparently not.
Here we are. All right, let's get to it, gang.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
Just got 2 quick things in the news before I want to talk to Andrew and get the listener turned on to his Man of Sin comic. But 2 big crazy things. Here's the first story from Variety. Headline: Jared Leto reprising the worst Joker ever for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Jared Leto returning to DC Comics fold, reprising his role from 2016 Suicide Squad in Zack Snyder's new version of Justice League. The article says it's unclear whether Leto was always meant to appear in Justice League before Snyder left the feature in early 2017 in advance of significant reshoots by filmmaker Joss Whedon, or if Leto is a new addition given the 4-hour length of the upcoming Snyder Cut, which will premiere on HBO Max in 2021. I just need to get out my thoughts in a series of sound clips, and it's really all the sound clips.
What?
The fuck?
This is going great.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Why are you putting Lame. Get your hands off my
Get
penis.
your hands off. I should have added that one too. We needed the gentleman.
I missed that guy a little bit. Yeah.
All the clips, comments, Anthony.
A couple things. Number one,
Yes.
Are we? Do we all realize by this point that there never was a Snyder cut because it doesn't exist?
Is this a new?
I don't think that this version existed. The 4-hour TV show version did not exist, obviously.
Right. No,
it may have been a 2-hour movie somewhere in there, but not a 4-hour.
No, not this. This obviously didn't exist.
No.
But my friend Chris Sotelo, who's been on the spinoff show and been on Jock and Nerd, he wrote this because he's a creative over at Google. And he puts, as a creative, we have a little text chat, I bet there's nothing more rewarding than getting this type of revenge on the studio for bastardizing his work with a Frankenstein Whedon cut.
Yeah.
He got to remake his movie off of a legend that it was finished. I mean, wow.
Wow. So,
which is exactly how I feel. He got to remake his movie off the legend that it was finished.
Oh, shit.
And I guess it's a huge win for him. It's a win for all the Snyder fans out there. And it's probably even a win for Warner Brothers HBO because they can put it on HBO Max and get more subscribers.
Listen, this story's got traction.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, it grabs headlines. People talk about it. This is exactly what HBO wants. Warner Brothers loves this. It's inadvertently, they stumbled upon this thing, like from the fans, like making it happen. But now you got a movie that nobody ever wanted to be made, and you have the Joker that no one ever wanted ever to see again in the movie. So it's like it's being a big fuck you to a lot of people.
Andrew, have you been following the story? Are you excited for this Justice League at all? What do you think?
Not even a little bit.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
No, I feel like Zack Snyder catfished Warner Brothers.
Oh shit!
And they called.
Shit.
They called him out on it, and he's like scrambling to figure it out. So he like called up Jared Leto. He's like, "Hey man, can I shoot some stuff over at your house? I gotta need that makeup."
I mean, when we started this whole thing, this originally was going to be just ADR, voiceover dubs, a couple of things put back in, $30 million budget. This is now something completely different. He is adding scenes. This is a new movie. He is bringing the cast back to reshoot new shit. The budget now, $70 million,
Oh, shit.
allegedly. So this whole thing is morphed.
He gets to do what every director that shot a blank
Yes.
has ever wanted to do, which is remake their movie with the knowledge of what went wrong.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
This is so fucked
But
up.
this is the great thing about this is that if it's still a fucking huge turd,
Yes.
like he will never get to make a movie again. That's it. Like he's got one shot.
There's a lot
and that was
writing
it.
on this.
Yeah.
So I want to share Bilatti's comment from the Facebook group. I think he kind of nails the whole sentiment. He says, it is a scary time to not only be a comic book movie fan, but a fan of movies in general. Think of how many talented directors were denied this ability to go back and get a, quote, do-over, unquote. Why does a subpar director like Snyder get the opportunity? Here's why. A small minority of fan outcry, like everything else on social media, and a pandemic, plus a new app that needs something to get the kids' attention. Typically, directors get a special director's cut DVD release. Not this guy. He gets a massive budget to remake something that nobody was looking forward to. This is crazy and super unprecedented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still going to watch it, though.
I'm definitely going to watch it. I will
I can't
say
wait
that
for this now.
although I agree with Bilotti, I don't think it's nobody was looking forward to it. I think there was enough of an outcry.
Obviously,
this legend of the Snyder cut.
I think it started picking up when Jason Momoa jumped on board. And in the middle of Aquaman doing well, and then all of a sudden Ray Fisher, everybody started to come on board, and then it just started to gain this momentum, not only from like fans that were jerk offs that were like wanted to do over, but actors that wanted to do over. Like, I don't know, have you ever heard of that? Like the actors that are actually doing well that don't need this headache are like fucking doubling down on this.
That's crazy
also,
too.
Also, kind of weird is like all those guys you mentioned also publicly started shitting on Whedon at the same time for something we still don't really understand about
what happened. Yeah.
So it's just a really strange circumstance.
Plus, and you know, he's got the sympathy angle. I do kind of feel bad for the guy. He went through a personal tragedy in the middle of this movie. Is this the vision that originally had for the movie? I don't understand why you're adding this Joker back. Is he trying to connect the dots with Batman vs Superman with the Robin? And it said, ha ha ha. Is that like where are you writing new things? Was this all? I don't understand. This is so weird.
I think that there probably was some kind of a grand design because he was working with stuff from the video game, from that comic book that was like an Elseworlds. I forgot the name of it. What was it called?
Injustice. Yes, everyone's
so
evil.
there was all these other threads that he could pull from.
Yeah.
And not only that, but now he can do hindsight 2020. Directing.
Who gets the chance like that? It's amazing.
He could take all the criticisms of his movie and try and like smooth those out a little bit. So I don't know. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. Andrew,
that's all I can say.
Andrew, will you be watching this?
No, absolutely not.
I'm just not even interested.
I don't have 4 hours to.
It's broken
light
up.
On fire.
It's an hour a day. It's broken up into four parts. Well, look, see, it doesn't matter how many people you put back in here. Some people are just still like, nope, don't need the headache. So interesting development there. We'll see whenever that fucking movie comes out. And then the other big story, we have our first casualty of the streaming wars. From Business Insider, headline: mobile video app Quibi announces it's shutting down after only 6 months, citing the pandemic as a main factor in its demise. So they're blaming.
I predicted this the minute it came out.
Blaming the COVID.
I was 100% when you guys said there was something called Quibi coming out and it's going to be stuff that you watch on your phone for 10 minutes. I was like, never going. It's called YouTube and it's free.
Andrew, were you familiar with Quibi at all? Have you even heard of this?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good idea, but like Rug Boy said, they messed up by making you pay. If they would have done like a freemium version,
yeah,
because everyone is on their phone.
Yeah,
like it was a horrible business model. Once everyone was in quarantine, they should have just made it free and hooked us on it.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's very interesting you said that. For the listener who doesn't know, originally this thing launches in April, and it's from Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman. Jeffrey Katzenberg, huge Hollywood executive, and the whole idea was it was mobile only premium TV content for a subscription that you could only get on your phone. You couldn't even cast this or stream it to a TV. But
that sucks.
But the two catches were episodes were 8 to 10 minutes, and you could flip the orientation of your phone, landscape, portrait. It would seamlessly transition, and everything would still be in frame, or some things would rearrange based on. So that technology I thought was cool. Now, originally, his idea, like you said, was people back in the old day, in the old world, in the old times, when you were at work, you were waiting in line at the grocery store, you were on your break, you had time to sit down, pull out your phone, watch short videos episodically, maybe. So while, yes, I agree, Andrew, I thought it was a really neat idea. Apparently, it doesn't work. And I would have thought, though, don't you think the lockdown, the pandemic would have increased their subscribers? Everybody, all the other streaming platforms subscribers increased. Everybody else got subscribers. This thing didn't even work in a fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
Haven't they learned from the drug dealers? You give a little taste for free.
Exactly.
Right. And then when they come back, you say, oh, no. Yeah. But no, they wanted to push their product for way too much money out the gate. And everyone's like, what the hell's a Quibi? I got YouTube.
It's quick.
I don't know exactly what I said, but I thought there was a chance with short attention spans that this might pick up, but then I was also quite skeptical. I'm glad it didn't pick up, and it is kind of crazy the amount of names that were involved in this, and for this to not, just completely fucking splatter. It's pretty surprising.
This is a $2 billion failed experiment.
Oh, shit.
Not surprising that it failed, surprising that the names that were involved and that
you had Kiefer Sutherland. I wanted to watch the Kiefer Sutherland. Punk came back. I wanted to watch Kiefer Sutherland's Fugitive, but I already bailed. And surprisingly, I bailed like 2 months ago. I turned off the auto renew. I was like, oh, I got to turn this fucking thing off because I was done. I did enjoy that joint rolling show where that guy rolled the crazy joints. That was amazing. Put that on another network. I'll watch that all day long.
The big issue for me was just I watched one thing. I thought the technology was cool when you flipped your phone.
Yeah.
But that was it. Like, it was literally just, oh, this is cool. Okay, but I'm not going to sit here and watch things on my phone, especially, and you brought up COVID, especially now I'm at home at COVID.
It backfired on it.
I'm not watching things on my phone. I'm casting it on a TV.
Yeah, it totally backfired on them. So, and it's just another in a chain of apps where I get really excited and then they don't last a year. I should stop doing that.
You should stop
I'm
getting
like
excited.
a bad luck for.
I mean, it's a high risk, high reward. Right? They wanted to change the game of how you view TV.
Very ambitious.
Media.
So I gotta applaud them. I give them props for trying this ambitious thing and having the talent to try.
This could have easily been a channel on YouTube.
Yeah,
it could have been like they could have made a deal with YouTube because the platform's already there. Everything's there. Like, listen, we're going to develop content for a channel and blah, blah, blah. And they could get paid that way and then just produce stuff. And people are already on YouTube every day looking at shit. And I mean, even if they would have had it on a free platform that you could put it on anywhere, on your TV, on anywhere, not just on your phone.
The production of the shows was actually really well
why
done.
do you care if they're watching them on their phone or anywhere?
Yeah, there was
like, why do you care?
They drew the line.
Like,
that was their thing. That was their thing.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah,
it was so
dumb.
stupid.
Didn't work.
You know, you need to be able to write it, put it, and present it everywhere. You know what I mean?
The shows look good. They spent money on, and there was epic, locations and the sets. It was, but Quibi is Quibi. So next, what's the next thing? Listener, let us know what you think. You can join the conversation. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. It's an exclusive closed group just for us geeks and nerds and jocks and weirdos and freaks. Everyone's welcome. Come in and chop it up. All right, Andrew, I want the listener to get to know you because I think some of our new listeners may not know you are a longtime friend of the show.
Talking nerd.
Longtime friend, first time caller.
Longtime friend, first time caller. Actually, this is your third appearance. You were on the spinoff show back in April, but you originally came on the show, episode 283.
No, last April,
2019. Yes, sorry, over a year. But your first appearance was March 2016, episode 83.
Oh, shit.
Of the Jock and Nerd podcast 4 years ago, in which we were introduced to your Kickstarter for Man of Sin. And the other day, it was a while ago, I forgot to tell the guys I get a package. And I was excited. I wasn't expecting this, Andrew. And I opened the package, and it's the Man of Sin Kickstarter package. So, first of all, let me just congratulate you on getting this done and delivering a fucking thing. We backed the Kickstarter and we got a thing. This is a win-win situation. I like when that happens.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for having me. It's awesome to be back. I love hanging out and talking to you guys, and thank you for backing the Kickstarter. And I'm glad I came back, came to you in one piece. It's always scary when you send stuff to the post office.
Yeah, you don't know these days, especially what's going to happen. First thing I wanted to know, how does it feel to birth this thing? You've spent so much time on it. It's like a baby. It's out there now. It's tactile. You can hold it. What does that feel like?
Oh, man, it's awesome. So when I first came on the show in 2016, I was doing a Kickstarter for just the first issue.
Yeah.
And like the Man of Sin story is so wild with ups and downs. So right after that, I got picked up by a literary manager, and I was like working for 2 years developing stuff for Hollywood. So I took a complete break from comics and Man of Sin while I was doing this, and absolutely nothing came out of that relationship.
Yeah. Listen to the spinoff show.
Yeah,
we go into great detail about that.
So that not absolutely nothing. I have a bunch of stuff I could still use, but nothing tactile, nothing real came out of that. So then Man of Sin ended up getting picked up by an indie publisher called Insane Comics.
Yeah.
And then the first two issues, issue 1 and issue 2, were published through them in 2018. And issue 3 was about to be released, and they closed their doors. They shut down.
Oh, shit.
Holy fuck.
That sucks.
Yeah, so it was really, what's really interesting too. I don't know if you guys I'm sure are following what's going on with Diamond and the comic book industry, and how a lot of the major Diamond was the only distributor pretty much for comic shops.
Yeah,
like they had a monopoly on it.
Yep.
And what Insane Comics' big downfall is that they refused to go into Diamond.
Wow.
Like they did not want to pay Diamond a cut. So they developed their own individual preview page and was sending it out to comic book stores, but very few comic book stores wanted to cut a separate check.
Right.
They're like, just go into Diamond and we'll buy your book.
Yeah.
And so he was like, no, I'm giving you a better price. Like his argument was, this is a better business deal. And all the comic book shops were like, absolutely not. And then lo and behold, COVID hit, and now everyone's doing what he's doing.
So yeah, that's interesting. If you followed what's happened over the summer, cut to the summer and COVID and Diamond actually shut down. Comics were not shipping for the first time in like 80 years. And this caused a lot of problems with retailers. And I believe they've come back, and DC Comics actually left Diamond.
Oh, shit.
Right? They're using somebody else now.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
There's a lot more of what the guy who is running Insane Comics, a lot more of what he's doing. A lot more indie guys are like not putting their books in Diamond and just going straight to the comic book shops. And comic book shops like, oh yeah, we do this now.
Yeah.
So like he was a little bit ahead of the curve on that. So they shut down. So we were with this half finished series. We had most of issue 3 done, none of issue 4 done. Like, what do we do? And we were kind of just going back and forth, me and the artist Camilo Pons, who, does the artwork. And we were, he was getting messages, I was getting messages. People were like, are you going to finish this? What's going on? So we decided to go back to kickstart the whole graphic novel. And, that was in 2019. It successfully funded. You guys were backers, so thank you.
Yeah.
And we finished the whole thing up and printed up a beautiful graphic novel and sent it out to everyone. And the reception's been awesome. People loved it. And we actually got picked up by another publisher.
Wow.
Congrats.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be published by Marcosia in 2021. So they're going to be releasing issue 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
For the listener, tell them what Man of Sin is about. And the package I got came in an awesome box, and it was filled with pinups and the first issue and a whole bunch of fun stuff. Describe what the book is and what was in the box. You guys saw the photos? Yeah, I shared the photos with the guys.
I think so.
Okay. Andrew, what is the book? What's in the box?
So Man of Sin is basically this. A father is tormented by the fact that his son died and he doesn't have answers to it. And so the more and more answers that he gets, the deeper and deeper into madness he kind of goes into. And the further the madness he gets into, the more kind of loss of reality and grip on reality that he finds, and the more kind of demonic things kind of come out. That's the best way I could describe it without spoiling anything. So it's the horror books. There's a lot of blood and violence, and it's graphic, but it's also very beautiful. There's a lot of touching character moments. Me and Camilo poured 5 years of our hearts into this thing, and it's really awesome to get it out into the world.
I read the trade here, and the art it's beautiful. It's haunting. It's nightmarish. It reminds me of a little Bill Sienkiewicz, a little bit of.
It's crazy that you've never actually even met in person, right?
Yeah,
with the artist.
With the artist Camilo, it's great.
Yeah, we never
He's in
met
Brazil.
No, he's in Chile.
Chile.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've never had an actual, I've never heard his voice.
Wow. You never even talked to him. Wow.
Yeah, we've just communicated solely on. Originally, it was back
MSN
in
Messenger.
Yeah,
AOL.
It was, yeah,
It was AOL,
it was the AOL. Yeah, was it AIM?
Yes, AIM. Yeah. ASL? Question mark.
Yeah. We would meet in a Marvel chat room, and we would just
back on the bulletin board. But dude, this is a professionally finished, produced piece. The lettering, top notch. Everything looks it looks so great. And as far as your pacing, the moments, the turn of page, shocking moments that you have worked in here work really good. Really good job, and I love that I get to have it. You guys, what do you think of what's in the box? These pinups, and you get a kind of sense of some of the pages on the inside and the arts.
I'm looking at what link am I supposed to be looking at here?
It's the one that says photos of Man of Sin Kickstarter package.
Okay, all right. I'm
pretty straightforward.
I've been looking at the other links.
We'll get to that. Go back.
Oh, okay. So I did look at these previously. This the artwork looks great. Look, there's a shitload of stuff in there. There's pinups and there's all kinds of imagery in here. What exactly am I looking at here besides the comics in this box, Imran?
Andrew, what's in the box?
So,
what's in the box?
What's in the box?
So I got a custom mailing box. So the box itself is from art, and there's some custom pieces in there just for the box for the fans that bought our exclusive fan box from the Kickstarter. So the box itself is a collectible. And then inside the box, there was the Man of Sin comic graphic novel itself and the Man of Sin variant cover that John Bivens drew. And it's really awesome. I love that.
I love the variant cover. It's great.
Yeah, I was really excited to work with him, and the fact that he was available and wanted to work with me was really awesome. And so those two are in there. It came in a unique kind of like sealed poly bag because I wanted everyone who opened the fan box because it was a higher tier reward. I wanted the unboxing experience to be really cool and unique for them.
This box is dope. Yeah, I'm finally pulling it up. I was looking at the wrong stuff.
Yeah, Imran put it in the. I couldn't.
We
tell
haven't got to that part. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was looking at the Dropbox links.
Yeah, so I wanted the unboxing experience to be really cool, so I put them in a custom poly bag with some more Man of Sin art on that, and then inside it, I just loaded it up with literally everything that we created over the 5 years, plus some exclusives that I just made for that box. So there's like, I want to say there's probably like 7 pinups. Some of them was from the series artist Camilo. Some of them were from artist friends of mine, like Walter Oswald, who does like Metal Shark Bro, and he does a couple other comics that I can't think of at the moment. But so those were in there. There's a poster, there's pins, stickers. I'm trying to think what else was in there.
There's a holographic, the stickers I like, and the pin is nice. For the listener, if you look at your podcast app, you will see the photo of all the stuff that comes in this awesome Kickstarter package. I mean, it was a fun unboxing. It was really cool to get it, Andrew. Like, this is how you do it.
Yeah,
this is how you do it.
Definitely like you're getting your bang for your buck here.
Yeah, I love that Imran had the box, like actually physically has a box, and then asked me and Rugg, so what do you guys think about the box?
I forgot to tell you. That's why I sent
we don't have the box.
That's why. We get one for backing the kicks. What am I supposed to do?
You have the box.
Send it around? That's why I took photos so you guys could see it. But as far as the imagery, dude, like the one imagery on the box that's in the beginning, I think it's in the beginning of the book, which is something I've never seen before, and it's shocking. It's the upside down crucifixion, like an actual dude crucified, but it's upside down.
Oh, shit.
That is a powerful image. I don't think I've seen that anywhere else done.
Yeah, Camilo kind of took what I had on the page and just ran with it. It was really awesome working with Camilo. Like by the time we were done, it was pretty much just shorthand. He would just, I don't even know how else to explain this. He would take whatever I had on the page or whatever I was thinking and not only do exactly what I wanted, but make it better. And, he was just, he's just a master. Like the way he works, like I have no idea how he doesn't have bigger work at like the big two. Like he's an amazing artist. So I was just really lucky to work with him.
The beautiful brush painted pages are great. So congrats on that coming out. What is the next thing, Andrew? What do you got coming up now?
Oh man, yeah. Right now, live on Kickstarter, I'm a part of a really big horror anthology called Nightmare Theater. It's, I believe, it's very short to reaching its goal in just 2 days. It went live, I believe, yesterday or a couple of days ago. It's pretty much some of the biggest names in indie comics are a part of this.
Wow.
So, like, I don't know if you guys know, like Russell Nolte, who's done Ichabod Monster Hunter and Katrina Hates the Dead. There's a guy, David Pepos, who's done Spencer and Locke. He's just done the OZ, which is like this Wizard of Oz / DMZ mashup thing.
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah, I've heard about that.
So he's in the book. They're both in the book. Who else? There's a ton of people. I'm blanking on it right now. The guy
the
who
anthology looks great. I just took a look at it.
Yeah, so this is live on Kickstarter. Listener, I'll have a link in the show notes. It's called Nightmare Theater, a cinematic horror comic anthology. 27 days to go with 241 backers currently. They have $11,449 pledged of their $13,666 goal. I like that they did 13,666. I see what they're doing. But
yeah, so I was talking to the guy who was running it and who actually brought me on board, and he was like, "Yeah, we were originally going to have like 10,000 or whatever the thing is." He was like, "But we kind of needed to stay on brand."
Yes, 13,666 is appropriate. So I feel like these guys are going to hit it. They still got a lot of time and they're almost there. That's 225 plus pages in
Yeah,
color.
They're gonna hit it. I mean, they're less than $2,000 away or $2,000 away
Yeah.
with 27 days.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they, I was really, really honored that they reached out to me and asked me to be a part of it. It was really cool to be a part of it.
Nightmare Theater looks great.
Yeah, so the story I have in there is a 8-page short story. It's called The Cricket Man. I'm doing it with a really awesome artist. Her name is Donna Black, and she's from Ireland.
Cool.
And I have talked to her. I've heard her voice.
Okay, so you know what she
great.
sounds like.
Maybe your chemistry won't be as good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that ruins everything. Oh, I know what
Yeah.
you sound like. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It's like Girls with the Mask. It's like, oh, don't take off the mask.
Oh, my God. SNL. Have you seen? They did a music video, and it was all about, girl, take off the mask. Let me see your face. Take off the mask in like a nightclub. It was super funny.
They finally know what it's like to live in Afghanistan.
Yes, now you know what the Arab world has been going through. Everyone is wearing a hijab. It's very weird for me to look around. I'm like,
I'm sorry, I steered that
you
in the wrong
just
direction.
you just broke us off on a tangent. What else you got going on, Andrew?
Yeah, and then my next full series, the one I'm doing after, now that Man of Sin's over, I'm going to bring that to Kickstarter November 10th. It is called Forgotten Hymns, and it's a Lovecraftian noir
Ooh,
horror
Lovecraft.
comic.
Very popular these days with Lovecraft Country
Oh, yeah.
on HBO.
Yeah, that was not intended, but I will ride the wave.
Have you seen any of that? It's really good.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't seen Lovecraft Country yet. It's definitely something it's on my list of things. I haven't had time, but I have read. Somehow I got
The book.
a copy. No, I actually got a copy of the first episode script.
Oh, you have a copy of the script of the show. What the
Oh,
fuck?
shit.
Wow, cool.
And so I read the script, so I know kind of what the first issue or the first episode is going to be.
I like this Forgotten Hymns. The art is very different style, more traditional graphic, hard contour line artwork, ink brushwork. What is this about? What's the story?
So basically, the quick elevator pitch is, what if Jeffrey Epstein had a daughter and she found out that her dad was an avatar for the old gods?
Oh,
Wow,
shit.
an avatar for the old guards. Jeffrey Epstein. Wow, that's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, and so the longer kind of pitch would be, a billionaire heiress is trying to cover up her father's crimes, and in doing so, she uncovers the occult secrets her family's tied to.
Ooh.
And so she starts in the city, and we kind of see her kind of doing some dirty work for her dad. And then she ends up having to go home. I created this fictional town in Southern Illinois called Lincoln County. And she goes back home and kind of has to figure out what her family's all about. And in doing so, kind of meets some Lovecraftian monsters, and madness ensues.
Dude, sounds great. It's very on brand for your stuff. Like Man of Sin is very occult, but then the Lovecraft stuff, throwing that in, it's super trendy right now. Like this is going to work out really good.
I hope so. Yeah, we've had a lot of really good reception with all of our promo images that we put out, and we've set up a page where you could get notified, and a lot of people have already decided they want to get notified. So it's been really awesome, the reception for it so far. And I have I don't know. I guess I'll reveal it now. I have one really big creator who's doing a variant cover. Did you guys see that?
No.
I have Ben Templesmith doing who did a variant cover for us. He was on board.
He's really good. Yeah.
What has he done?
He's done 30 Days of Night.
Okay.
He's the guy who created 30 Days of Night. He's done Batman, Gotham by Midnight. I'm trying to think of what else.
Yes. So he's done a lot of Image. He's done stuff for Image with Warren Ellis. He's Australian. Cool.
Yeah. So that'll be coming out November 10th, and then I'm really excited for that. I can't wait to release that to the world.
That's very exciting. You guys, any questions, comments on any of this for Andrew?
All I got to say is, man, continued congrats. And we're supporting you the whole step of the way. Anything we can do to push the links and push the Kickstarters. I mean, ever since we last spoke, April 2019, when you gave me the horror story of working with that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you've blown up a little bit. I mean, you're on 2 or 3 different projects now. This is great, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And,
You're just some random dude that came on our show
Right?
like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, who
Yeah.
the fuck is this wrestling coach?
I was like some random dude who just walked into Emran's house and like hung out with him for a
Remember
while.
back when I could just let strangers into my house and there was nothing wrong with that? Remember that? Remember comic book conventions?
But what's cool about this though is that like you wanted to do something and you made it happen. Like just you created something out of nothing with no help, basically, and you found the resources and you found ways to make it happen. I mean, that's an
you
amazing
didn't give
story.
up. So
Yeah.
many people have tried to get something out there and just failed miserably. And so you've had the determination to keep with it and make it happen for everybody.
And there's a lot of people that have ideas and they're like, I want to do that, and then they just never do it. Like Imran. Imran's basically his
Well,
whole
I
life
made
up
this
until this podcast. Yeah, up until this podcast.
That's about it. Everything else, I have great ideas. The follow through could use a little work.
But that's super admirable to like have an idea and be like, you know what, I'm just going to do it, and
Well,
you're doing it, man.
Thank you guys, and I love and appreciate and all the support and everything you guys done for me and my books and stuff. So thank you so much. And talking about doing something that didn't exist in the world. I don't know if you guys know this. I had a daughter about a year ago.
Whoa, congrats.
Thank you. And I really, once she was born, I really kind of decided that I needed to put my money where my mouth is. If I was going to be a parent and was going to tell her she could do anything that she wants to do. And
Absolutely.
So I want to be proof positive that you could do whatever you want. And I could point to these things like Man of Sin and my Nightmare Theater and Now Forgotten Hymns. And I could point to these things and say, I wanted to make this and I made it happen. I had no idea what I was doing beforehand, but I found the ways to do it. Whatever hurdle came in front of me, I confronted it, I evaluated it, and I moved on. And I want to be able to actually mean it when I tell it to her, not blow smoke up her ass, which I feel like a lot of kids get.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I did want to say though, when you prefaced by saying when you got into that thing with your daughter about how you wanted to create things that never existed in the world, and then you go, so I had a daughter last year. I'm like,
No way.
oh,
I had a daughter.
so you're going with that? That's the angle. You created a daughter. That's the second thing you
Yeah,
created.
you
Very
created
good.
things.
You did not exist before.
You did not exist. No. Only because of your
I
determination.
made that out of nothing. Look, check it out. It's in the basket over there. Andrew, it's super fucking inspiring. Especially, look, this trade Man of Sin is something you could put on the shelf and it's there forever. It's like, look, I made this out of nothing. It's there. It can be enjoyed. Like, that is what an accomplishment. And I'll put links to everything in the show notes, of course. Listener, check it out. Wish you nothing but more luck and success, as always. And just keep pumping it out. Kids,
Thanks, man. I
kids
appreciate
and
it.
books. Both things.
I'm good with one for right now.
Okay, good. Listener, I know what you need. You need a mask because here in Chicago, they're about to shut everything down again. So you're going to need masks. We have masks. Visit our Jock and Nerd shop, TeePublic shop, jockandnerd.com/shop. We'll get you there. Multiple designs, 2 different kind of masks. There's always sales, and there's T-shirts and tumblers and magnets and pins and stickers and hoodies. It's getting cold. Get all that shit. Stay warm. Stay safe. Visit our TeePublic shop. Okay, here's something fun we're going to do. Let's get to our first of 2 reviews.
Oh, shit.
2 movie reviews this episode. This first one, though, is kind of a special one.
They're always special.
They're always
this one
special.
Is extra special.
This one is
Very
extra
special.
special. We are going to be reviewing the 2014 comedy horror Canadian film WolfCop.
Oh, shit.
Surprise. Why? Here's why. This is a Patreon movie pick. If you support us on Patreon and give us $10 a month or more, you can pick any movie you want to force us to watch and review. But on top of that, it is also a Halloween gift from myself, and it's sponsored by listener supporter Lisa Morrison.
Jock and Nerd.
This review is dedicated to all the listeners, all the Halloween fans, and her husband, Steve Morrison.
And
Who is also a
Canadians.
listener
Who is also
and a supporter.
And a listener and supporter and Canadian. Well,
We got a married couple doing this.
yes, they both support us. So I will say this pick was much objected, Lisa Morrison. I had to fight for this. Just know.
Yeah, it was not top of my list to review.
Yes.
But, but I watched it.
Anthony
Whatever do you mean, Red Boy? How is it not on the top of your list?
Anthony was like, I object. I was like, overruled,
I watch a
motherfucker.
lot of garbage too. That's
Yes,
the
you do.
thing. I watch a lot of crap.
So, Anthony, thanks for letting me overrule this decision.
Yeah.
Overruled, bitch. I object. Okay, so Lisa Morrison, this
Yeah.
is her third pick, Patreon pick. We've already done the movie Serenity for her. We've done the movie Goonies for her. And she's been a patron for 34 months. So she gets another bonus Wolf Cop pick. Now,
Yeah, whatever you want.
get whatever you want.
We'll do it.
Interesting enough, we also said Steve Morrison, also a Patreon supporter. He's actually been supporting us for 41 months.
Oh, shit.
Whoa, longer,
Whoa.
but his pledge is lower than Lisa's. So I don't know I don't know what's going on there. It's fine. I love both things.
Weird.
Right? I love
We got some money coming out of the left pocket
Yeah.
and some coming out of the right
I hope
pocket.
this doesn't screw up their budget for the month. Where is this coming from? It's going over here. Okay. Spoilers for the Wolf
Oh,
Cop.
God.
Before we get started,
Spoilers.
does anyone want to get out?
I know Anthony and Rugboy want to get out, but they can't. You stay right there.
I watched it. I'm reviewing it. That's how
There
it
we
goes.
go. On Rotten Tomatoes, Wolf Cop, 65% tomato meter, 5.57 out of 10 average rating. This movie apparently was made for $1 million.
Really?
$1 million. And it is
Wow.
a full Canadian production. Yes, it's a B movie. It is a comedy. It's listed as a comedy genre, written and directed by Lowell Dean. A cast of people nobody knows, and it's not really important. I will just shout out the first couple of people. Well, the guy playing Wolf Cop, Sergeant Lou Garou, his name is Leo Fafard. Fafard. There's a woman named Tina. She's played by Amy Monticello. There's another woman named Jessica, played by Sarah Lynn. And you know what? It doesn't matter.
Really doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter. Anthony. Oh, by the way, this movie, if you want to check it out, if you want a new Halloween movie, it's free on Tubi, Amazon, and Hulu. And it's only an hour and 19 minutes long. Another plus for it's barely feature length long. Anthony, what happens in Wolf Cop?
Apparently this is about some town somewhere, some small town where this cop is super disheveled and a drunkard, and I guess he gets infected by some cult and becomes a wolf at night, and he is dealing with that, and being a cop and patrolling the streets is now a wolf cop.
He's a wolf cop. You're a wolf. A cop.
Yeah.
Wolf cop.
Yeah.
Andrew, I appreciate you watching these movies that we
believe you made him
reviewing.
watch
I
this
made
movie.
Andrew. I feel like I should give him.
He's not even getting
I know.
anything
I
from
feel like I
that.
should send him like $2 just out of just to make him feel. But
You know, I'm just happy to be here, guys.
Andrew, let's start with you real quick. You're the guest. Opening thoughts overall. Once Wolf Cop was over, what was going through your head?
I can never unsee the pee scene.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
God.
I can never.
That's the thing that sticks out.
I can never unsee that. Also, the wolf love scene.
Yes.
I can never unsee that. But it wasn't. It wasn't an F. It was like a it would move on to the next grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pass. It's not a
Yeah.
fail.
You're not putting like a bumper sticker like, hey, look at this great movie I made.
I love Wolf Cop. I mean, it's obviously a low budget B movie, but look, let's just get into a little bit of discussion because, yeah, obviously B movie, low budget. But I got to even credit, they did things that I've never seen in a fucking werewolf movie
Oh, shit.
before, Ruggs.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree? They introduced some new shit. It was low budget, but I was like, this concept, I'd never seen anybody do this in a werewolf movie.
Well, I mean, the fact that he starts to transform Dick
So
first.
let's describe for
Look, this is the scene that defines the movie,
Yes.
right? This is everything else is pretty much whatever.
Yeah.
But like this is the scene that you're gonna remember.
Yes.
That to this movie in particular.
Can you describe the first transformation in Wolf Cop?
Yeah, he went to take a piss and his dick starts to turn into a wolf dick. and he he rolfs out like they do in Sleepwalkers, where like they rip out of the skin.
Oh, so
like,
they have. I didn't know it's.
Oh yeah, it's been done before.
done.
Yeah.
So instead of him growing hair, turning into a wolf,
Yeah.
it's underneath the skin.
like
and
he's under the skin,
and
a wolf, and then it
molts
rips through the skin.
I thought that I'd never seen.
I think that's stupid. I hate that.
It is kinda
like
dumb.
anyway. But I'd rather that you have hair follicles that can grow.
Yeah,
That's
just
easier.
the hair grows out.
Yeah,
Not
just
for $1 million.
whatever.
You don't do that shit.
Whatever. But his dick. He has the penis transformation, and then there was a part where like he saw his face like starting to split down the middle.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, he's gonna rip his face off and it'll be a wolf underneath. And then he went into a bathroom stall, and then you never saw him again.
Can't afford that.
So they
didn't have the money.
they probably shot it and looked bad. So they're like, oh, fuck it. We're just going to have him in the stall doing the transformation.
Anthony, did that make you cringe at all? The fucking dick exploded with the wolf dick underneath? What the fuck?
Wait. Did Ruggs, you have something that you cut him off there?
Oh, of
Yeah,
course
he did. But like, it's okay. Go ahead.
As per usual.
Yes.
Anyways, my opening thoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, this is obviously a B movie,
Yeah.
but this is like the worst kind of B movie because it's a movie that's trying to be bad.
Yeah.
And it knows it's bad and is trying to be funny and like leave things with you. And I didn't find it funny. I didn't find it fucking amusing. I found literally the entire movie, I was just bored. And there was at times when the movie was like kind of like more serious than it should be. The only thing I liked was that you got to see a pair of tits, and I can see that for free a lot of other places. So, yeah, this was a complete waste of time.
Wow. I mean,
I did not like this movie at all. I could give you my rating right now because there's not much discussion for me. It's a movie that wants to be bad and it succeeds.
yeah, there's just like for me, it's weird that it's listed as a comedy because I did not think it was a comedy. It wasn't funny, but I had a strange fascination.
That's what it's trying to be.
Yeah, but it was kind of funny. It's not funny. I thought when he was WolfCop was kind of fun. Like I was into just the WolfCop scenes. Everything else, I was just waiting for him to turn into WolfCop.
I was like, okay, how I feel about low budget films, I feel like as long as they're trying, just swinging for the fences, and even though they might have the budget to do it, if at least they're swinging for the fences, then I'm good with it. But there was times where they were trying to swing for the fences, and I think that bathroom scene was one of them.
Yeah.
And then the scene where he's making the Wolfmobile.
The Wolfmobile.
All right.
Is that cheesy?
But that was like so underwhelming.
Yeah.
It was just like he turned the thing to the side. I wanted to see some really crazy
Yeah.
shit.
I was wondering when that happened, like, why did he turn the lights to the side? Wasn't that
just for it to be different,
It's
but like
sideways because it's Wolfmobile.
So like there was times where they were trying to go for it, and then like they had that thing with the lizard people.
Yeah, everyone was lizard people. That was really bad effect.
That was like straight from like Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla,
where it just
or
flashes
something, or
and
Megalon, where those the villains turn into like creatures.
Yeah, it's bad, but like I think I don't know. It was just one of those things that like it was. There's some crazy ass shit that I've seen that's low budget that is handled better than this, and this does have two or three memorable scenes. So I'll give it that. It has boobs, so it has that. It has like some weird bestiality in it. All right, so it's got a lot of shit that's weird. And with everything else is pretty forgettable. I'll say that. So
I was not expecting a sex scene between a wolf
No, I was waiting
and a
for a
person.
sex scene.
Really?
You weren't?
No.
the minute that girl comes on screen, you go, we're going to see her naked. That's it.
Absolutely. The way she's acting, I mean, she's straight out of a porn star
that's a
video.
good
And
point.
the opening like ratings are like strong sexuality.
Yeah,
You didn't read that? It was like
that.
strong sex. I was
Well,
like,
in
oh, this is going to be a
general,
sex scene.
You know what? There is a fucking epidemic of sexualizing animal and like half animal,
It's
half
like
people.
the furry thing.
Yeah, there is a big thing.
Yeah.
So, so this is not uncommon. There's like this thing where like in a lot of werewolf movies, and that's why I think that they're the gateway to this bestiality shit is that in a lot of these wolf movies, a guy who becomes a wolf gets horny.
Yeah.
And can smell like, women,
Pheromones
whatever.
and stuff.
Yeah, and all that stuff. So, it's not out of, we expect shit like this from like, sick werewolf movies, but, It's just
That
jarring.
caught me,
because
it caught me off guard.
I expected it fully to happen.
I wanted to know
because she was only interested in him after he became a werewolf.
Well,
kind of thing.
I'll give it this.
And she was an old woman.
When she morphs into an old lady, I go, what the
I was
hell?
like, she's an old woman.
The fuck?
I wanted to know if his dick was going to be bright pink like dogs' penises are. You think that's what it looked like? They didn't
We
show
should have seen it.
They didn't show
We should
that.
have seen
Why
it.
didn't they show that? He looks like a shitty beast from the X-Men, so.
It's not my favorite werewolf either.
I think it's funny that it's a wolf. He's got werewolf powers, but he chooses to just use his gun and
like
shoot.
a werewolf is literally one of the best low budget things you can do.
He does
right?
pee on the kids, which I gave him points for.
I like that. Peeing on
That was
kids
good.
is always great.
There was a lot of pissing in this movie.
There was a lot of urinating, absolutely, for some reason.
Is that Canadian humor?
I
Like,
guess.
see on stuff?
Well, yeah. If you ever
Everyone's Trailer
watch-
Park Boys? I don't know.
I don't know. That's like R. Kelly's like pleasure stuff. So I don't know if that's humorous.
Liquor donuts, I love the concept of that alcohol was spinach and made him stronger, this drunk. And there's something called liquor donuts. I want to try those.
See, the way you're describing this stuff, yeah, that all sounds funny. The way it plays out
not
on screen,
executed well.
not that funny.
Not executed well.
It's really not that funny.
But
I don't know. I wasn't sitting there laughing at all
I
of this
thought
stuff.
some of it was clever, but it didn't make me laugh. I was just like, oh, that's a funny idea. Liquor donut.
Liquor donuts. Liquor donut. Well, they were trying to build the mythology with the shapeshifters and the blood from the werewolf. You got to feed on them and blah, blah, blah. And then so he denies his fate and stays alive. Like, I was kind of like, at the end, I'm like, I kind of want to see what WolfCop like just shopping. I just want to see him like taking his laundry in.
Well, there is a sequel.
There is a sequel. It's called Another WolfCop. That's the name of the movie.
Is it out?
Yes. You can go to wolfcop.com. That came out like 2 years later, I think.
No.
So I may have to watch the sequel because
Oh my God.
2017 that came out because I kind of want to see the adventures of Sergeant WolfCop.
So you would watch another one?
I would watch another one.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
I want because when
I might watch another one too.
it was
Wow.
it was so bad. It was fun when he was WolfCop.
I mean, I always want to see where they go from like wolf dick to what? I want to see wolf pussy. What are we
what's the
seeing?
next
Like
thing?
wolf tits?
Exactly.
Like,
I would watch
we
it.
gotta see what are we seeing.
Listen,
next?
you don't have to rent these. They're free on the streaming services. I'm going to fucking watch it. There's an awesome rap song at the end, and there was a post-credit scene, which I didn't know. I had to go back.
I didn't see that either.
No, I did not see the
Don't worry.
post-credit
I'll tell you exactly what it was. It wasn't long. It cuts to this building, this house, and there's a dog tied up outside whining, and the guy comes out the door, and he's drunk. He's drunk Canadian, and he's like, I told you to shut up, dog, and he starts walking to the dog, and then WolfCop is there.
Oh, shit.
Growling at him, and then the guy just like goes back inside. That's it. That was the post-credit scene.
Wow.
Yes, very, very
I was going
exciting.
to be there like Thanos or something.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't building on the mythology. It was just WolfCop saving a dog from getting beat from a drunk owner. They snorted dried wolf blood. That was different. I don't know. Whatever. Let's rate the movie. Anthony, what number would you give this?
This is a 0.5 out of 10.
Oh my God!
This is the worst movie. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Wow.
If not the worst. I mean, it's
worse
like, again,
than
it's
the
bad.
Mr. Nanny.
It's up there.
Oh,
it's probably
fuck.
it might be. I think it's worse because it's just bad. It's trying to be bad
Yeah.
in a like ironic sense,
Yeah.
and I didn't find anything humorous at all. I thought that was a complete waste of time.
Andrew, if you had to give
Worst movie. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
if you had to.
I love that he hates it so
I
much.
actually hate it. I hate that I had to watch it, and I hate it even more now.
We're talking about it, wasting time talking about it.
Andrew, give me a number out of 10. What would you give this movie? It can't be worse than Anthony's score. I'll tell you that.
No, I'm giving it a 4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Yeah, the wolf dick got at least 3 points for me.
Wolf Dick is worth 3 points alone. I will agree with you there, sir. Ruggs?
Yeah, Andrew nailed it right on the wolf penis. Like, it's a 4.5 for me.
Yeah.
I feel like, yes, it is a terrible film, and I was way more bored than I should be in an hour and 19 minutes.
Yes.
But there was something I have never seen before.
Yes,
Two things
yes.
I've not seen before, which is a wolf fucking a girl
Yeah.
and
the
wolf penis.
Wolf penis bursting.
Yeah. And everything else was whatever, but like that was
thought
memorable.
they had a barn that exploded. I was like, wow, that's a pretty good explosion for this.
They did a lot of face ripping.
Yes,
too.
this dude gets his face ripped off. That was like in the Boys.
That was weird. Yeah, I remember that too.
Well,
and,
that was kind of
and the cop in the bathroom was like playing with it.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
she's
understand.
holding it up.
That was fucking weird.
She's holding it up. Going,
Like, who does that?
Oh, what? That's a police officer. Oh, my face. Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and then the coroner's just sitting there like, yep, that's what we do. Like, what's
this is
going
the
on?
most fucked up town in Canada.
And the coroner puts like the donut on the dead guy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
yeah.
went. They saw a dead guy in the forest, and the coroner came, and he was eating the donut, and he just puts it on the
he
guy's
rests
knee.
it
As
there.
he's, yeah, he just leaves it there.
Oh shit.
I'm like, we're in COVID here. We're scared of all kinds of germs, and this guy's like, doesn't give a
See,
shit.
there was something I had fun with this movie. So my score, no surprise, I'm going to give it a 6. I want to
really?
see more
Oh, my God.
Wolf Cop.
You want to see more
You're
Wolf
the
Cop?
I want to
worst.
see another Wolf Cop.
Imran's totally pandering.
I
I can
You
see
have
right through this.
You have no credibility ever now.
Come on, it's a bad B movie, but there was something about when he's Wolf Cop, the idea of him being Wolf Cop, I want to see more of. It's not a good movie.
You guys didn't like when like he first turned wolf cop and he's in the jail and he's like, "You're a wolf,
Cop."
cop."
And then he goes, cop. And then the big line at the end when he kills the bad guy, the guy's like, what did you expect? And he shoots him in the head and he goes, a promotion. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's good. Come on. You're a wolf. Cop. Come on. Anyways, that's Wolf Cop. Thank you.
I might watch the next one
See?
just to see
Another
what they
Wolf
do.
Cop. I got
I
it.
might. I have a small curiosity.
Thank you. Lisa Morrison.
watch this.
Steve Morrison. Hope you
If
enjoyed that.
I'll watch it if it's just short as this one was.
Let's see. How long is another Wolf Cop? It is run
82 minutes.
Oh, so yeah, it's about the same. It's about
good.
the same length. Yeah.
I want to know like how these things get made, right? Like you got to get investors, like $1 million. They just didn't
Canada,
wake up one day.
Dude. Yeah.
and found
Yeah, how
it.
does that happen?
I don't know.
I think in Canada that just sounds like a great idea.
They're
I
like,
think,
Wolf
I think
Cop.
they just pay for things.
Where do I sign here?
They just pay for things in like maple syrup and then go, oh, this is like the equivalent to $1 million. Three jugs of maple syrup and Canadian bacon.
We got
Let's
enough
just
syrup
pay
to
for it
fund
with that.
this. Yes. The trees are spitting good sap. Let's get Wolf
Yeah.
Cop done, eh? I think that's what happens.
Oh, here's a hockey puck. That'll cover the budget.
We could.
hockey.
We could.
Oh, my God.
Oh shit! You're gonna get it now. We can.
Oh, snow. That'll cover it.
Anthony went full heel.
Thank you, Steve and Lisa Morrison, who
Thank
are
you,
Canadians
guys.
that you're making fun of. I enjoyed watching this, and there's happy Halloween, everyone. What can I say? Look, we're gonna take a quick break, play some promos, and we'll be right back and get into the trial of the Chicago 7 on Netflix right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, my name's Paul, and I'm not an animal expert.
I'm Donna, and I'm not an animal expert either.
And together we do a podcast about animals called Varmints.
Every week we pick an animal, do a bunch of research on it, and bring you some interesting facts about that animal.
But we don't stop there. We talk about that animal in movies, TV, and other pop culture.
And we talk about whether or not that animal would make a tasty dish, and how intelligent we think it is on the scale of 1 to 10.
It's exactly like one of those fancy PBS nature documentaries.
Except with more poo jokes.
New episodes go live every Thursday wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Or you can visit us at blazingcariboustudios.com.
Varmints! Varmints!
Forgive the interruption, but I believe this requires your attention.
If you ever believed Captain America was on the U.S. Olympic soccer team.
If you ever thought that the Winter Soldier was that brace yourselves guy on the internet.
And if you ever wondered just what would a raccoon do with a machine gun.
Then don't let another week pass you by without tuning into
Mighty Marvel Geeks.
Mighty Marvel Geeks is your show about all things Marvel.
With news, rumors, commentary, and interviews.
As well as our weekly recommendations on what to pick up on New Comic Book Day.
Official consulting hours are between 8 and 5 every other Thursday.
That's Mighty Marvel Geeks on WeebieGeeks.net, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
Doc and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show, support the show. Join our fan club. It's at jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
It's like Jock and Nerd plus Max Premium. What's the other one? Quibi. No more Quibi.
No Quibi.
It's not like Quibi. It's still around. That's why it's not
It's like the cock.
It's like the cock plus Max for Jock and Nerd fans. You get bonus content. Everyone gets access to an exclusive RSS podcast feed where there's tons of bonus movie reviews, post shows. The shows come out early. There is a sports show called Jock Talk with Anthony. New episode this week, Anthony.
Yeah. We had on, as per usual, Chaz Hubbard, but then we also had Jason Dutch coming on, pulling double duty that night. He recorded his own show and then came on our show.
Again, he
and he was on his on our show last week, so he's just all over the fucking place.
He can't stay away from us. I do have a sound clip from that episode for the listener to tease him. This was suggested by Jess Rivera.
I'm very tired of the Tom Brady dick suck fest.
So that now is going to be a permanent sound clip. You know what's great is I have TJ.
Let me tell you about Tony, all right? Tony ruins lives.
I got Jason Dutch.
I'm very tired of the Tom Brady dick suck fest.
Aren't we all? Come on. On my Monday morning quarterbacking. Am I doing it right?
Who Tom Brady is?
He's a quarterback.
Okay, there you go.
He was on the Brady Bunch.
He was on the Brady Bunch. He's the dad from the Brady Bunch. He died.
That's right.
He is he the one that's not on the Patriots anymore?
That's correct.
He went to Florida.
That's correct.
See, I know shit. That's all I know.
There you go.
I didn't know that.
Anyways, catch this.
I'm very tired of the Tom Brady dick suck fest.
What's he talking about? Don't you want to know? Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Sign up for the fan club. Okay, let's get into our second movie review of the episode. It is Netflix original, The Trial of the Chicago 7. More spoiler alerts.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
This movie on the Rotten Tomatoes sitting at a 91% tomato meter. 7.83 out of 10 on the average rating. The budget for this one, $35 million. A little bit more than WolfCop. It is a Netflix original that is written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. You may know the Aaron Sorkin. Anthony, are you a fan of the Aaron Sorkin?
I like Aaron Sorkin, yes.
What do you like from Aaron Sorkin?
Few Good Men.
That's a good one.
Social Network.
That's a fucking great
Moneyball.
one. Moneyball. He wrote on Newsroom, the HBO series.
West Wing.
West Wing, which the big joke for years about that show was the show was just like people walking in hallways really fast and talking really fast. Like that's every episode. That's the whole episode. He also did Steve Jobs and Molly's Game, which he directed that one also. And he wrote this screenplay in 2007 with the intent of Steven Spielberg directing the film with unknown actors. That doesn't happen. And we get known actors starring in this movie. Eddie Redmayne as Tom Hayden, Alex Sharp as Rennie Davis, Sacha Baron Cohen as Abby Hoffman, Jeremy Strong as Jerry Rubin, John Carroll Lynch as David Dellinger, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as Bobby Seale, Mark Rylance as the lawyer William Kunstler, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, JGL, as the prosecution attorney Richard Schultz, Ben Shankman, and J.C. McKenzie rounding out the 7, and then the incredible Frank Langella playing Judge Julius Hoffman, and a bunch of other peoples. But that is, and special cameo, I did not know, spoiler, fucking Michael Keaton, just out of nowhere, pops in this movie as a cameo. That was a surprise to me, a pleasant surprise. I was not expecting the Michael Keaton. Anthony, the plot of this movie is in the title, obviously, but what else happens? It's the structure.
Yeah, I mean, it's based on, I believe, the Chicago riots during the Democratic National Convention in 1968, I believe.
Yep.
I'm just doing this off memory. Yeah, I mean, it's just about these riots that these people were protesting the Vietnam War at the time, and then Lyndon B. Johnson was president, and once Richard Nixon came in as president, he decided to prosecute 8, actually, not 7, 8 people in relation to these riots for a conspiracy to riot, crossing state lines, basically doing a whole bunch of illegal shit and trying to make an example out of these 8 people that didn't really know each other all that well.
No,
some of them did.
Some of them did, but really
they weren't.
They were separate.
You'll see in the trial.
Separate groups. So let's just start with you, Anthony. You're Mr. Oscar. What'd you think? Has this thing got Oscar stank on it?
Oscar stank. First off, this is quite a dichotomy going from WolfCop to Trial of the Chicago 7 in the same episode.
This is great.
So, So to answer your question, yeah, I mean, this is going to be for sure all a part of Oscar season. It'll get nominated for Best Picture and probably a lot of other awards. Sorry, not rewards.
Rewards.
Awards. What did I think of it? I mean, coming out, it's one of those films that is like clearly Oscar baity in terms of its subject matter and the outcome and all that. So I mean, there's no way to not feel by the end of that movie when the credits hit that, like, just feel like a feeling of, wow, that was great. Like, this is an amazing. That's a great ending. This is an amazing. It has all the feels of a really good feel good movie.
Yep.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. There's lots of things to dissect. It's a movie that deserves some deeper analysis because I think it's really good. I think it comes down to people's opinions on it. I think everyone probably thinks it's well made for the most part. I think where there might be some divisiveness is just the politics that Aaron Sorkin tries to incorporate in it.
Yes.
Because it is his movie, so he tries to incorporate his view on the world throughout the film, and that might rub people the wrong way. But as far as opening thoughts, I thought it was great. Great dialogue, great cast, great story. So yeah.
Yeah, and as far as Sorkin, putting his stuff on it, it's no surprise that was going to happen if you watch The West Wing or even Social Network. Like, this is his statement. Andrew, you said you were looking forward to this movie anyways. What did you think over opening thoughts?
I knew about the story before, so kind of seeing it dramatized was really cool. I wasn't really aware of who the people actually were, so it was kind of nice to get that take, kind of get an intimate look at that. Yeah. I was really surprised about Sacha Baron Cohen. I didn't want to like him coming in just because I know him from like Borat and everything.
Yeah.
But he was really good. And apparently, like, he has another like drama thing called The Spy where he's really good.
The Spy is excellent. He is a great dramatic actor. Yes.
And wasn't he snubbed for some acting role?
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. He would have probably done a great Freddie Mercury. He was supposed to be him for a long time. He had the role.
Yeah, so I thought that was really awesome. I love what Sorkin is able to do with dialogue, like just people talking and the drama and the tension he's able to create. And I thought with the courtroom drama, because it felt very much like he was going back to his roots with like You Can't Handle the Truth. What's the name of that one?
Few Good Men. Yes.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yep.
Yeah, it felt like another version of that to me. And not in a bad way. Like, it wasn't like he was rehashing, but I just felt like he went back to what he's good at. So yeah, I love the movie. It was great.
Rug's opening thoughts. What'd you think?
Well, you can't go wrong with Aaron Sorkin. No. Number one, like, just on the entertainment value alone of just his scripts and how actors want to be in these roles and they come with their A game. So, like, you're going to get some fireworks when you watch Aaron Sorkin film. You're going to get some nuance. You're going to get obviously some of his politics injected in there. You're going to get all of that stuff. And I like that because, that's what movies should be about. It should be about the director, the writer, getting his vision of what he wants on screen. Now, it gets a little dicey when you're dealing with the history.
Yeah, is it worth making up shit in a historical event? Like, making things up?
I mean, but if his aim, I think, was to try and either humanize or make it relatable to what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I know that he wrote this movie a while back, but I have a feeling some of the stuff
it was punched
more
up.
Current,
is
definitely pushing through it. They definitely kind of reworded things and kind of, whatever to kind of make it more relevant. And I didn't mind that. It's just we talked about this last time we watched a movie based on a true story. It's like, it's a movie, so things are going to change. Like, it's just the way it works. But this was actually pretty faithful to like the beats of what actually happened.
Yep.
So all in all, I really I just didn't like the ending. I felt like, all right, these guys are like, how does it end? Like, how do you end it? And I felt like the ending was okay, but I wish it had like a more explosive ending. But a really like big crescendo, and it kind of like, okay, well,
it was an act of defiance at the end.
Yeah, I don't even think that actually happened.
Well, it did, but not like that. Not with him. Not at that time.
Yeah,
I'll get
and But the thing is, it's like the thing with this is that in the actual real life world, it was a constant act of defiance.
Yeah.
It was like every day in court there was some kind of shenanigans.
Oh yeah, these guys were clowns, disrupting all the time.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So how do you make a crescendo out of it? How do you really get there? So, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was very good.
Well, I mean,
Very
it's
good.
again, it's a true story, so there is no explosive ending in real life, anyways. Really,
things don't really. Yeah.
So first of all, I love this period of history in American history, the 60s specifically. I've been obsessed, fascinated ever since high school. I got to credit my humanities teacher who made us read like Malcolm X and Brave New World, and we really dove into the civil rights movement. 1968 specifically is a crazy year. I love this time. It's like if I had a time machine, I kind of would want to go back and live through the 60s. So right away, it's amazing Sorkin courtroom drama, and physically he nails the cast as far as appearance and the way I watch videos of Abby Hoffman later and Sacha Baron Cohen. The whole cast is dead on, almost looking exactly like the people. And this is an event that has lots of film, has transcripts, has videos before and after, TV interviews. There is a lot of video, and I love that they showed the real clips. The performances, top notch. The dialogue, the writing, the pacing, so good. And the storytelling structure where he's telling you the story of the trial and the events, cutting from the trial to the events to Abby Hoffman's stand-up to the mock trial, and you slowly get the pieces of the night as this thing, beautifully, so well-paced. It was never dragged, but let's get into a couple of the details of what we like, because as much as this really did follow the transcript verbatim, there are certain things that he changed orders, and then there is a scene that is completely made up.
Oh shit!
Entirely.
Well, let me ask you this real quick before we get into
Yeah.
how important is this though?
Well, you feel when you watch this movie, it's just like Social Network and his other things. You're learning something. He's trying to turn people on to a moment in history that is important that everyone should know about.
His point of view, though, he's latching on to stories that he thinks are interesting that he can spin. And he Sorkinizes them.
The Sorkinizing is great. I don't mind the full made up scene. There is one instance where there's there's film of what happened, and he flips it, and
what are you referring to?
Okay, let's just get there. So the scene after they're denied to march, and the crowd heads back to the park, and there's the statue on the hill. In the movie, it's shown as the cops are already surrounding the hill, right? And with their batons out, with guns, they're ready in protection. Meantime, the leaders of the activists, Abby Hoffman, Dave Dellinger, they're trying to calm everyone down, turn them back. And some random dude that comes out yells, "Let's take the hill."
Oh shit.
Which causes everyone to storm the hill and the clash between the cops and the protesters. In reality, this happened the other way around. After they were denied march, they went back to the hill. The protesters had gotten up on the hill first, and they were climbing the statue, at which point the cops were like, "We got to get him out of the park. We got to get him out of the statue." The police come behind them and started pulling them down, and then that escalated, and shit went bad. I will say they did a good job of kind of showing that it was a lot of the cops, but it's kind of both sides, as we've seen. I mean, the fact that this came out now after the spring, this American protesting spring, you see that both sides are kind of to blame, and it's a heightened situation, and shit happens.
That's a good point in that Sorkin...
He flipped it.
Well, and also he's not really nuanced in terms of his view on things, right? Like, it is very clear he sides with the protesters.
Yes.
The cops were bad.
Yes.
In fact, he's trying to make, as Rugboy mentioned, clear parallels to what's happening now, even though the inciting situations are completely different.
Right.
So yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's why I brought up in the review, in my opening thoughts, I think a lot of people that might have problems with this movie might have problems with just the politics that Sorkin is putting in.
I don't know if I have a problem. It's just like you're doing this when there's evidence. You can easily look up what really happened. Like,
yeah, it's just one of those things that when I'm watching a movie based on a true story, I'm like, okay, I gotta have to fact check this now because I can't go by this as the way You can't watch a movie and go, I know history.
Right.
You can't. You can't do
But
it.
you
And
should. But he's trying to teach you something. You do learn about this whole thing.
You get a general idea of what happened, right? You do get like enough to actually be okay. It's and I went and fact checked it, and there is, I would say a good percentage of it. I would say like 75 to 80%, which is basically good for a movie. Usually movies are 50%.
A lot of the courtroom dialogue is straight from the transcripts.
So he went like above and beyond to make it close to reality. But he is in charge of how he presents
his movie.
So so he does that thing where he puts his own spin on it. But one of the things I wish they would have had that they didn't is, and you could, this is Sorkin did this by his design. He doesn't let you hear the speech that the Black Panther dude.
Oh, Bobby Seale's
made.
speech we never hear. That's right.
And that's what gets everybody riled up, because he tells them don't let these cops push you around. You need to get these
so
cops.
He left that out.
Yeah. So I mean, there's things like that are also germane to the argument that are not are left out, and that's why he was there. I think that's the reason why he's included with those guys, is because they felt that it was related. But anyway,
well, he was obviously, they were all being railroaded. He was just thrown in with them. He didn't even know them.
They were all being forced into this thing, obviously, for whatever, all these varying reasons, because they wanted to make examples of these guys. All right. Because they didn't want the civil unrest, but it's just crazy. How it does, even if you take all of the Sorkinisms out, right? Yeah. It still does reflect like that. This shit happens in every age and every generation. There's always some kind of stuff where people and there's civil unrest and they're trying to diffuse it in any way possible, and sometimes nefarious ways or whatever, or things that get twisted into nefarious things. It's very crazy.
I mean, studying this shit in history, I never would have imagined I would be fucking living through it while there's a pandemic also. All at the same time. Andrew, you're a writer. In a project like this, how accurate does it need to be with your message that he's clearly trying to put out?
I think it really depends on how accurate the writer wants to be. I mean, Aaron Sorkin does this all the time, where he'll take something that, like Anthony said, he wants to dramatize, like Molly's Game or The Social Network. And he'll twist things either for dramatic effect or how he thinks the world should be. As a writer, I think when you create something, it's your chance to tell the world how you think the world should act or should be. And I think this is just Aaron Sorkin flexing his muscle in that regard. I think where it gets dicey is people that will watch this, and I think there's going to be a large majority that watches it this way, and they're going to take it like it's a documentary.
This is the story, just like The Social Network is the story of Facebook.
It's like the Braveheart argument, right?
Yeah. It's
like they're all guilty of doing the same shit, right? They're all just kind of like rewriting history as they see. But Sorkin's so much more intelligent at how he does it, though. I really respect the fact that he's very nuanced in. He does try and give you a little bit. He doesn't quite give you enough, but he does give you a little bit of like the opposite view, the opposing view, where things, where there's a gray area. I think that you have to have, it can't just be black and white. It can't just be okay, it's clear cut. No, there might be some questions. There might be some things that to discuss. I like that. I like that there is that nuance there.
I would say, Imran, as far as like, I understand why we're having the conversation, and you leave yourself open to this type of debate, right? When you make a movie that's based on a true story.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to pivot away from that.
Okay,
and the reason being is there's so much more to this movie than the debate about the true story. Like, yes, you leave yourself open to it, but like, let's talk about the fact that like, this is an amazing cast.
The cast is so good.
What performance do you pick out as like the standout performance? I've got like multiple standout performances.
I'm gonna say, look, Keaton's great, Yahya Abdul-Mateen great, fucking Sacha Baron Cohen great. To me, fucking Frank Langella stole the show. He was so great and weird. I didn't know if the judge was senile or just an asshole. And every time he spoke, the richness in his voice, he is so good. I thought he stole the movie.
I thought he was great. You know, I got to be honest. I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen is really good in this. Yahya Abdul-Mateen, every time he's on, he's super magnetic.
Electric.
I was almost like, I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but every time he tried to like interrupt,
I know,
and then Frank Langella's character would shut him down. I was laughing.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, this
comical.
is kind of funny.
Yeah,
but for me, the standout guy is Rylance, Mark Rylance. I thought he was fucking awesome as the attorney.
Oh, it's Kunstler. Oh, Kunstler is very good. Yes,
I mean the line where he goes, how many of you guys here reported jury duty? Oh, none of you? Well, then shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so good. Mark Rylance is great and everything. JGL was all right. He just did. I mean, I didn't think it was anything special. I did think Eddie Redmayne as Tom Hayden wasn't bad also.
I thought it was a standout cat. Like everyone was bringing their A game.
Yeah, everyone brought their A game. You know, as I said, it is a vehicle for actors to do their best stuff, and a director that's going to let them do it.
Yeah, I feel like Sorkin is like almost sets up the actors to always look good, right? Because his dialogue is so witty and so snappy that like if you're in an Aaron Sorkin movie, unless you're like a complete schlub, you're gonna look good.
Well, the words are so important, so I'm sure he has everything planned out.
He knows what he wants, I think he gives the actors room. He creates a rhythm. And that rhythm, you can see that
the rhythm of his dialogue is amazing.
How it's paced and how it's like a tennis match. A lot of it. So it's really good. And you'd be dumb to be an actor and not kill it in one of these movies. You gotta bring everything to it.
One of the things I see online, I'm curious what you guys think though, is like because Sorkin is so big and because like this movie is already getting that Oscar hype, is there's already like some sort of like backlash against Sorkin in terms of like the way he Sorkinizes things, and one of the big criticisms I see, besides his politics on things, is that the way people talk, although it's super entertaining, none of these people talk like real people.
Right.
What do you guys think about that?
Well, but in this case, you know, Abby Hoffman was saying straight lines that Abby Hoffman said.
Right. He actually did say that.
He said a lot of that stuff. That whole line where the guy's like, would you take him the $100,000? What's the price for the revolution? And he goes, my life. Like, you could watch a video verbatim that exchange happened. And but where the Sorkin stuff would be, I guess, the stuff where they're meeting in private, where you wouldn't really know what was said. And I think he does a great job in those moments, and you know, in the mock trial and the times when it's not the trial, when they're meeting. And even in the protest
just
scenes.
anything that's not in the courtroom.
Anything that's not in the courtroom, yes.
Well, I mean, they talk to each other. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm entertained by it, but they talk to each other outside of the courtroom like they're inside a courtroom. They're always like that rhythm of like on. Objection. Yeah. Like everyone's always at odds. Everyone's always cutting each other off, like saying like something where you're like, oh, that guy just put that guy on
right
the heels.
There.
Oh no, he hit him on his heels.
The rhythm of the dialogue, yeah.
I think that,
I love that.
if you're going to like say, okay, no one talks like that, like it's every movie. It's like, you know, like it's very, very few and far between that the movies capture the reality of how people interact, and it doesn't sound stagey because he's a playwright, right?
Yeah, that's
very
point.
So
theater.
everything
it's
that he does
theater.
sounds like a theater.
But I felt like it felt authentic to the time too.
So. Yeah, I mean, it is a criticism, and it makes sense.
Do you think they were using radical left back then?
Yeah, they were called radicals, of course. They've been using the word radicals for a long time.
Do you think they go the radical left? It's just the radical left in disguise?
I don't know. I don't know.
We weren't alive then.
I do know that Jerry Rubin did say...
I know that's being said right now.
Yes, it's saying now.
Yeah, I think that there was a version of that.
Yeah.
They're maybe called radicals.
They're called just radicals.
The specific word, you know, and social justice was brought up.
Social justice.
Yeah, so
that was like right away.
I think that was, you know, he does say cultural. It's a cultural revolution. I think that was obviously, like you said, that's on purpose.
Yeah.
He's doing that.
You guys have any like favorite lines? Because I mean, it's a Sorkin movie.
Well, when Jerry Rubin said, but I think he actually said this. He goes, "Are you excited for the trial?" He goes, "Yeah, it's the Academy Award of protest. Who doesn't want to be there?" But he actually said that at a press conference. But I love that line.
Jerry Rubin says that.
Yeah.
I can't remember lines.
I like when Rubin he's like, I have an egg. And Mark Rylance is like, get rid of that.
It's like, what are you doing?
And then Yaya's little speech in the beginning where he's like, MLK is dead, Malcolm X is dead, Bobby's dead, even Jesus is dead. We got to try something else, basically.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, that was good. Andrew, any other highlights from the movie for you?
You guys hit on a lot of them. I was just really surprised, like I said at the beginning, with Sacha Baron Cohen. I wasn't expecting a drama role from him, and it just took me by surprise because I know him from like Ali G and Borat, and like he just nailed it, which was really surprising.
I tell you, comedy guys have great dramatic chops, man.
I read that when Sorkin wrote this in 2007, he wanted Spielberg to direct, but right off the bat, I think he asked Sacha Baron Cohen to be in it, to be Abby Hoffman, and they just stuck with it for 13 years. Like,
wow.
I think Sacha Baron. I don't know how old Abby Hoffman was at the time, but I have a feeling that Sacha Baron Cohen was almost aged out. Like, so Abby Hoffman was probably like 34 at the time.
Oh, okay.
And Sacha Baron Cohen would have been like in his 30s, probably in 2007. I think.
Yeah, he would have been.
Now he's like in his 40s, right? Like late 40s. Yeah. So I think they just kept him.
He looks the age still. Like it
kind
works.
Of. Well, he does. I don't know. He looks a little older than like someone that we'd be pairing up with Eddie Redmayne's character.
Well, that's true. And it was crazy when you learn, and I don't know if this is true, maybe it is, that it was Tom Hayden, the guy that was not the crazy Abby Hoffman, Jerry Rubin. Tom Hayden was the guy that kind of started the conflict, the clashing after that guy got hit. I love that twist. I didn't see that coming. And then the other thing that I thought was amazing, I don't know if this is true, the moment where the cops took their name tags and badges off.
I don't know.
There were hints of some of that happened this past spring, but of course these are Twitter photos that could be photoshopped. I don't know what to believe, but the
undercover girlfriend was fun.
Yes, the fact that there were so many undercover people and Jerry Rubin's girlfriend was undercover.
Oh shit!
So that's not accurate. In real life, he never had a relationship with.
I gotta say that as far I thought of more lines.
Yeah.
I think Yahya Abdul-Mateen might have been one of my favorites too.
Bobby
Because every
Seale,
line
so
where
good.
he's interjecting, he's like, "Do you even know me?" And there's like, "Please be quiet." And or he's like, when they're talking about the park getting like raided or whatever, or where they took the hill, and then at the end he's just sitting there. He goes, "I wasn't there either. I wasn't there at all. In fact, I was there for 4 hours eating chicken pot pie."
Bobby Seale was so great. This frustration was amazing. He's like,
I think in reality he was there for 2 days, right? Is that
2 or 3 days?
Yes. In reality, he wasn't there long. He was thrown in with these guys, and in reality, they had him gagged. In the movie,
they did have that.
In the movie, he saw him bound and gagged, it seems, for a short time. He actually appeared in court that way for several days.
That's crazy.
Making muffled sounds, trying to get free, which prompted Kunstler, the attorney, to refer to the courtroom.
That's horrible.
The Kunstler goes, "This is a medieval torture chamber. Can we please..."
Unacceptable.
Well, a lot of that stuff in the trial, like it kind of writes itself. Just how how crazy that it was, like a kangaroo court.
They wore robes. That actually happened, and they actually had the police outfits underneath the robes. But every day, Hoffman and Jerry Rubin would do some fucking shenanigans to just make fun of the proceedings. And Judge Hoffman was not having it. I can't believe he was so as patient as he was with them.
What do you guys think as far as? Maybe you care about the Oscars, maybe you don't. What do you guys think as far as being nominated?
I mean, it should be nominated.
I think best screenplay, probably.
I mean, I don't know what's on the landscape for it right now. I can't really think about that.
I don't know who the person would be. That's the.
I don't think. I think it'll get Best Picture nomination. I think maybe best like adapted screenplay. I don't know if it's adapted or original.
If they do supporting actor, you got to give a nomination to.
Supporting's tough because there's like 3 or 4 guys.
I will give it to Sacha Baron Cohen, Yahya, and Frank Langella.
Well, you can only up to 5 people, so you can take 3 for one movie.
3 for one movie. One of those has got to go. Eddie Redmayne, but again, all these people. Eddie Redmayne is an Oscar darling.
I feel like Eddie Redmayne
is Oscar darling.
Is the main character.
Tom Hayden, really?
Yeah. Because he gets the last thing. He's the one that actually has like an arc throughout the entire movie.
Oh, so, by the way, about that last scene. Great moment at the end where the judge is like, "Any final words?" And Tom Hayden gets up. He's like, "Since this trial has been on, 4,000 Americans have died in Vietnam. I'm going to read all of their names." So that did happen, but not like that. David Dellinger actually read the names, and it didn't happen at the end. It happened earlier in the trial. There was one day, it was a Vietnam moratorium nationwide that everyone was observing, and David Dellinger gets up and starts reading the names before the judge gets in, and then the judge enters, and he's all upset that the guy's still reading names.
Yeah, but they interrupted him. They stopped him from doing it, right?
I think he tried to go on, and he got contempt. They all got multiple contempt charges.
Yeah, they got contempt
dozens, all of them. Especially Kunstler spent like the most time in jail after all this.
Andrew, do you care about the Oscars at all?
I'm not a huge Oscar guy, but I
I don't
was.
think there's many of us left.
I was wondering while you guys were talking about this. Is this the biggest movie of 2020?
Oh,
I think it's so far. I think it's the.
Tenet
I don't know how to define biggest.
I know,
but I think it's the best one. I think it's the one that's most universally considered the best one right now.
Especially a Netflix release, it's got really good reviews.
Like what else? What else can you even like? We're almost done with 2020.
Yeah.
What else can you even put in the category?
They're extending it to February of 2021.
Yeah.
So you have till February 2021 to get nominated for next year to release a movie. So
this could be a tough year for
right
Oscars.
now. The only other movie I could see that might get in is Defy Bloods.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Defy Bloods is as good as this.
I haven't seen the Five Bloods. I don't know. I was thinking what was the biggest movie?
There's nothing this year. Like it's been Tenet and Mulan and this. Like what? Nothing.
Like nothing came
out.
I was going to say Tenet.
How are they going to pick anything?
Have you seen Tenet?
I haven't yet. No.
Oh, it's not that good.
You broke my heart.
I'm
trying to think about what's the best movie I've seen this year.
Is this the best movie you've seen this year?
It's one of the better ones.
Maybe,
yeah.
It is definitely one of the more solid. But
here's what I think. If I could put on my snobby Oscar hat that I've just acquired,
Roman Polanski
over quarantine.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely gonna get nominated. Obviously, I don't think it's gonna win because I think it's almost a little too baity,
too pandery,
like in the music,
too pandery,
and it's not actually like all that creatively shot. It's pretty standardly shot. It's what rides it is the story, the dialogue. The acting.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to win. I think something else will win that's like a little more not baity. If I could put on my cap.
They don't want to give them the satisfaction of falling for the bait.
I've also just read a lot of stuff where people don't consider this Sorkin's best work. And like there's an article on The Ringer where like this is the most Sorkinized movie ever.
It's very Sorkin. I don't think it's better.
Sorkin.
I don't think it's better than Social Network.
Yeah, no, it's probably not. I don't think it's better.
Did we rate the movie yet? Okay, one last thing that was different from real life. Remember the scene with
you love the
look. You got to fact check this. You got to fact check this fucking movie. And most of it was true. Here was the complete made up scene I kept referencing. Michael Keaton's character, former Secretary, U.S. Attorney General Ramsey Clark, when he appears in the scene to do the trial in the voir dire, where that's a testimony in front of no jury. Jury's not there. And then David Dellinger turns around and punches the federal marshal. Remember that scene?
Yeah.
That whole scene, made up. No, that never happened. David Dellinger was a pacifist, never punched anyone because he was a pacifist.
Well, if you want to get into like those things, and like what is more egregious, I think the most egregious part of what he made up was just making, for whatever reason, he decided to make JGL's character a sympathetic character.
That guy was not sympathetic at all.
That guy was not sympathetic, and it
didn't do anything.
Add anything to the story to make him
a little too much,
character.
Sorkin. Like now you're pushing a little too hard.
Well, it just makes him feel like even the opposition thinks that they're wrong.
Right, but he's just clearly. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. He's just clearly pointing in the direction of police are bad, government was bad.
Yeah, that guy was not sympathetic to him at all. So, okay, give it a number, Anthony. What'd you give this movie?
I'm going to go with 9 out of 10. I'll say this, though. When the movie ended, I was like 10 out of 10. This is the best movie I've seen in the year. I love it. I still love it, but scaling back the rating just a little.
Okay, interesting. Andrew, what would you give this movie?
I'll go 9.
Oh, nice.
I was going to say 8.5, but I don't know. I think that's being a little too harsh if I gave WolfCop a 4 or 5.
It's on the WolfCop scale. Don't worry, the curve brings everybody down. Rugs, we got a 9 and a 9. What do you got?
I'm gonna go and do the 8.5.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
all right.
Still, that's a great. That's a good movie.
Very high score from the Rugs. I'm gonna look. If Social Network is like a 9.5, this is a 9 for me. I'm gonna give it a 9. If I'm trying to think of his other things, and Social Network's definitely.
What's your guys' favorite Sorkin thing?
Oh man, that is a good question.
I mean, I like the Social Network.
I think Social Network maybe. I never watched West Wing.
I enjoyed Molly's Game.
I thought that was pretty good
I never
too,
saw that one. I gotta watch that one.
I thought Molly's Game was him at his most Sorkin-y.
Okay.
As far as like his dialogue and the things that he twisted to make it, more dramatic. So I like that this wasn't as like the dialogue in Molly's Game. I thought he dialed it back on this, and I think it's because it was an older script. Like Molly's Game came out in like 2016 or 15. He wrote.
Yeah, I think. Well, you have to. I think Molly's Game he directed, and this he directed.
Yeah,
so those are the only two you could really compare because the other one Fincher directed, and Fincher's a master director.
Yes, that's
so
why Social
he
Network
can even get even more mileage out of Sorkin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
So that I guess is his best film. Maybe I would say. Like I think it's
written
Molly's
and directed.
Game.
I
They're both
guess I was
based
going
on real things, right?
I guess I was more just going with like, what's your favorite? It doesn't matter if he directed.
Yeah,
like, what was your favorite thing
I would
that he's
still
been
say
involved in, including television?
Social Network. I mean, Moneyball's great. Few Good Men is great. Steve Jobs.
That's a good point. I mean, I think Social Network, but also that it's just he's paired with a dynamite director too. So it's just you add these two great minds, and it's just he's magic.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job directing this on his own. That's the pacing again. Like I said, pacing's tight. Everything's there. It moves really well.
Well, the thing that you could tell the difference between like a Fincher and a Sorkin is a Fincher is very cinematic. Sorkin is very like it looks like he's shooting a play.
Yes, yes.
It looks it's in that way.
Fincher camera moves a lot more than a Sorkin. Yes.
What's really interesting, you guys kind of talked about a little bit, is Aaron Sorkin has said this himself that he considers his dialogue music. Like he actually like hears it and he kind of has a rhythm to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's really interesting that like I noticed it from him saying that, but it's really cool. You guys kind of
you can hear the rhythm. I also heard back in the West Wing days that he writes all his shit on mushrooms.
Oh shit!
That was a rumor I heard. I swear to God, I don't know if it's true.
I got to give credit to Netflix here because we've been pretty hard on them over the summer.
Yeah.
Over the spring with like Project Power and
the Charlize Theron
Axe movie with Charlize Theron or whatever the fuck her name is or whatever the fuck it was called. But they've taken like the last two movies we reviewed this, and I'm thinking of ending things, and they're taking these like great writers, right?
Yeah.
And they're just giving them a platform to be like,
make your own movie.
You're a great writer, and they've both done things before, but here's a bunch of money to make the movie you want to make.
Do whatever you want.
Go out and direct it too. Yeah. Like just direct it.
And you can tell
see what happens.
They don't have any creative oversight. They're clearly letting these guys do what they want.
Charlie Kaufman and now Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah.
So
that's exciting.
I think Netflix is. I don't think this is a pattern in that like all their movies are going to be like this, but they're doing a bunch of different things.
We got Scorsese and Irishman, kind of the same thing, and it's kind of exciting to see. Maybe Fincher gets.
It's funny that you said
Fincher
that.
gets some stuff
movies,
too.
Those two movies are going to be up for Oscars.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Ending things.
Well, the Irishman. I forgot that came out in 20.
That was last year.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
Never mind then.
It did get nominated though, so you were correct. It would get nominated because it did.
I can't even remember what came out.
Nothing fucking came out.
Nothing's come out.
Let's talk. Let's talk about what we are watching. The stuff that came out. We'll finish up with a little what we are watching. I have something interesting. As I was doing research for this review, I stumbled upon another documentary about the same exact situation. It's called The Chicago 10. It's on Amazon. It came out a few years ago, 2007. Okay, a long time ago. Written and directed by Brett Morgan. This is a documentary. Here's what he does. It's kind of fun. It uses a lot of the real video, but all the a lot of the trial stuff is animated. He has animated and voiced the transcripts and then cut in real video of Abby Hoffman and Jerry Rubin, the press conferences. The voice cast, you got Hank Azaria as Abby Hoffman, Dylan Baker as Dellinger, Nick Nolte's in this, Mark Ruffalo, Liv Schreiber, Jeffrey Wright. A lot of great names in the voice cast, and it's told in the order of what actually happened. So it's not as entertaining as Trial of the Chicago 7, even though it's animated. It's a little dry, but it sticks exactly to what happened, shows you the news reports, shows you scenes from the protest, actual clips. It's only an hour and a half long. It was really good. And it kind of filled out the whole picture. Watching that and then watching this, you kind of get a good idea of the whole thing. And Abby Hoffman looks just like Sacha Baron Cohen with wild, crazy hair.
Sounds cool.
Check that one out. Anybody?
I'm curious to see what the animation is.
The animation is kind of like it's like rotoscope, cell shaded animation. It's not bad, but they were ambitious and they went for it with the animation over Abby Hoffman. It's real fun.
Rotoscope.
Anybody? Anthony, you got anything you watching?
No, nothing. Not really watching. I mean, other than this stuff for the show, I am not picked up anything new.
Andrew,
so,
you watch anything recently you would recommend that was cool?
I'm probably late to the party, but I started watching Cobra Kai.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah.
Which
another convert.
Yeah.
Which was surprisingly amazing.
Listen to our review when you finish the 2 seasons. We reviewed it a few weeks back.
Yeah, it's like the greatest sequel ever.
This is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you bring something back.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's really good. I'm surprised, and I'm really enjoying it.
I feel like that's the reaction everyone, including myself.
I can't believe this is good.
You throw it out, like, is this going to be any good? And you're like, wait, this has no right to be this good.
Yeah, wasn't it originally on YouTube?
It was, YouTube, right?
Like, what?
Yeah.
I was so surprised just how good it is, and like, you know what else is interesting too? They took little bits and pieces of like fan theories. Like, have you ever seen the fan theory of how Daniel's son was the bad guy?
Oh.
On YouTube, and they integrated that into the show.
Oh, I didn't know that from before.
Yeah, what is his name? Who's the blonde guy, the main character?
William
Johnny Lawrence.
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny. He says, "Oh, you stole my girlfriend," which is a part of that fan theory. And then he says, like, "Oh, the kick was illegal," and he even says it to him, which I think is really, really interesting.
Did it make you?
Oh, the kick is illegal because he kicks him in the face, right?
Yeah.
The crane kick was to the face.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was to the face. Andrew, did it flip you to Team Johnny? I'm on Team Johnny's side. Danny's a dick.
Well, how many episodes are you in?
Good question.
I'm only in.
Imran, behave yourself. Don't spoil anything.
Sorry.
I'm only in, I think, 3 or 4 episodes.
Oh shit! Okay, never mind.
The first season.
We'll stop talking about it.
Yeah, I will say this. I have a book recommendation, Emron.
Okay.
It's called Chaos. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
Yeah.
And it's about the Manson murders, but really what it dives deep into is the 1960s kind of counterculture movement.
Oh, yeah.
And how the CIA kind of infiltrated it.
I love that stuff. I thought that was interesting in the movie. And you think about these protests today, how many undercover FBI, CIA cops are in these groups? You don't know. They're sending people in there.
Yeah, basically what they would, according to this book, what they would do is they would actually plant undercover agents in there and pretty much make them combust from the inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was their way to take him down. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, the FBI, Hoover had a 500-page file on Malcolm X. They followed him around everywhere for years. It's alarming. Ruggs, you got anything you watched?
Yeah, well, I stumbled upon this fucking awesome documentary series. It's on Showtime about the Comedy Store.
Yes, I watched the 3 episodes.
Aren't they great?
It's so good. It's so good.
Okay, it's great. So, basically, the Comedy Store is owned by Mitzi Shore, who's the mother of Pauly Shore.
I didn't know that.
And basically, it tells the tale of her club and her like opening it up in the 70s and the 60s or whatever.
73 it opened.
And Johnny Carson and how it was a huge factor, and then it kind of goes off to like, well, Johnny Carson goes away, and then now what happens? And comedies had to be reborn, and then Andrew Dice Clay and all those guys came out.
I mean, it's amazing. Everyone had to go to the Comedy Store to be considered a comic. You had to go through there. This was your education.
So it is like one of the most important comedy clubs in America. I would say probably one of definitely in the top 10 of comedy clubs.
Absolutely.
In the United States. In terms of Hollywood, it's probably in the top 2 or 3, right? So, it's Joe Rogan still talks about it. There's people still always refer to the store as being like the place. And there was a I'm Dying Up Here that was made by Jim Carrey that was based on the Comedy Store. Like a lot, like the lead character was this woman who owned the club. So it was an homage to Mitzi Shore. So, if you watch both of them in tandem, it's pretty good.
Amazing. It's crazy how even established comics, it didn't matter who you were. If Mitzi didn't like you, you weren't getting a spot. You're not getting time. But that if you worked your way up and she liked you and you got to become a paid regular, and it's still like there's one scene where the guy gets told he's a paid regular, and it's a really good documentary, and fucking everybody's in it. Everybody. Bill Burr, every comedian, every stand-up that's been through there, David Letterman telling amazing stories about the Comedy Store. Very good series. This week, if you're looking for something to watch, another Sacha Baron Cohen movie is out right now as the show is published, and it's Borat 2. You can go from his amazing performance as Abby Hoffman to, I'm sure, hilarious performance as Borat. I cannot wait to watch this movie.
Oh, I'm psyched.
Subsequent movie film. Very nice.
Very nice.
Andrew, you said you didn't like the Borat?
No, I love Borat.
Okay, you're gonna watch the second one. Are you excited for the second one? I
was scared of it, like it was gonna suck, but I've heard good reviews.
Andrew, thanks for hanging out. Tell the listener where what you want them to do, where they can find your stuff, where they can pick up Man of Sin if they want to get a copy, and all the links and everything.
Yeah, you could follow me on Twitter at Andrew Guilde. That's Andrew and then Guilde. You can follow me on Instagram at @aguilde, so AGUILDE. And if you want to get a free copy of Man of Sin issue 1,
free
delivered right to your email box, you can go to aguilde.com/free comic. That'll put you on my exclusive fan list. You'll get behind the scenes stuff. You'll get I do a weekly blog with another writer, and you'll get issue 1 of Man of Sin immediately as soon as you sign up for that.
Sweet. Free comic book listener. Ruggs, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at ReallyRugBoy. Come by, say hi.
Say hello. Of course, I'll have links to all that stuff, listener. You don't have to pull out a pen and paper. Don't write any of that down. If you want to check out Andrew's stuff, just visit the show notes, jockandnerd.com/352, or look in your podcast description. Links to all the bullshit we talked about so you can follow along and how to support the show, how to subscribe, share this geekery. Let's grow this empire of stupidity. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a nerd.
Peep you next time.
I'm very tired of the Tom Brady Dick Suck Fest.
Let me tell you about Tony, all right? Tony ruins lives.
Sloppy Jock.